Hey Cowboys Nation, let's go for another round of news from America's team. Watch until the end so you don't miss any news and sign up to stay tuned for everything that comes out about the Cowboys.
Owner Jerry Jones has spent the offseason emphasizing how the Dallas Cowboys are all in for 2024. Yet, the Cowboys were the only team not to agree to terms with either a current or new player on the first day of NFL free agency. Dallas had been joined by the Seattle Seahawks before the team reached an agreement with tight end Noah Fant, leaving the Cowboys as the lone team not to make a move. This streak was finally broken by Dallas on day 2, but it was not the signing many fans were expecting. Dallas has agreed to terms with long snapper Trent Sieg, a move that was met with even more frustration from Cowboys fans. Cowboys have entered the chat and made their first free agency-related move, reaching a one-year contract with long snapper Trent Sieg. A person familiar with deals said. The Dallas Morning News' Michael Gelkin reported with a March 12, 2024 message on X. Last season's operation with Sieg, punter Brian Anger and kicker Brandon Aubrey remains intact. Cowboys fans have been hoping for flashier signings. Instead, Dallas' first move was to retain the team's long snapper. Star running backs like Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, Austin Eckler and Aaron Jones are among the veterans who have already found new teams. Who is ready for a 30-minute Locked On Cowboys podcast about Trent Sieg? Pro Football Focus's Marcus Mosher joked on X. Fort Worth Star-Telegram's Clarence Hill Jr. also had some fun at the Cowboys' expense. The Cowboys have come to terms with long snapper Trent Sieg. And boom goes the dynamite, Hill noted on X. Trent Sieg played in all 17 games for the Dallas Cowboys in 2023. This is not to minimize the importance of special teams, as not having a capable snapper can prove to be disastrous. The 28-year-old veteran joined Dallas last offseason. Sieg spent his previous 5 NFL seasons with the Las Vegas Raiders. The specialist has played in all 17 games the last 2 seasons. The start to NFL free agency has been defined by subtractions for the Cowboys. Starting running back Tony Pollard is joining the Tennessee Titans. Center Tyler Biadasz and pass rusher Durance Armstrong both followed Dan Quinn to the Washington Commanders. Cowboys urged to sign ex-Chiefs RB after Tony Pollard departure. Chaos of the free agency has begun, and the Dallas Cowboys are being urged to make their move for a former Kansas City Chiefs running back. The team has already seen Tony Pollard head to the Tennessee Titans, but have yet to replace him. And it's not just Pollard that has to be replaced, backup RB Rico Dowdle is also expected to leave. That's why Blogging the Boys writer Brian Martin thinks the team should pursue Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Considering the lack of a proven commodity at the RB position right now in Dallas, taking a flyer on Edwards-Helaire isn't a terrible idea, Martin wrote on March 11. This is one of those low-risk, high-reward type of signings the Cowboys haven't been shy about making in the past. And signing and bringing him to camp for a look-see wouldn't be financially damaging if it didn't work out. Martin admits that Edwards-Helaire has a similar frame to current Cowboys RB Deuce Vaughn. But as compact runners, they bring very different skill sets and Che has far more experience. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is a fit in Dallas after Chiefs run. After being selected as the number 32 overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, Edwards-Helaire immediately made an impression for the Chiefs. Totaling 803 rushing yards and 4 TDs and an average 4.4 yards per carry, the former LSU Tiger lived up to his draft billing. However, his role has slowly regressed in recent years. Pro Football Reference shows that his number of touches and yards has decreased in each of the past 3 seasons. Further, the arrival of Isaiah Pacheco further cemented that Che is no longer the top back in the room. And while that may not be a selling point to Cowboys fans, his potential pay should be. Spotrac projects a 1-year, $1.6 million deal for whoever signs Edwards-Helaire. For a guy who once was a first-round pick and lead back, that is tremendous value. As Martin mentioned in his write-up, there is no real risk signing that kind of deal. If Dallas doesn't plan to get a marquee back, someone like Helaire makes logistical and financial sense. Former Cowboys RB Tony Pollard heads to Tennessee. While the Cowboys figure out their plans at running back, former Dallas RB Tony Pollard is headed to the AFC South, On March 11, KPRC2 reporter Aaron Wilson stated that Pollard was set to sign with the Tennessee Titans in free agency. Shortly after, ESPN insider Adam Schefter revealed what kind of deal Pollard is getting in Tennessee. Compensation update. Titans are giving former Cowboys running back a 3-year, $24 million deal, per source, Schefter wrote on X. That's a sizable deal for Pollard, who played on the franchise tag with Dallas in 2023. That tag paid him just over $10 million for his services last season, so he's not taking a massive pay cut in his next deal. There was speculation that Pollard could come back to the Cowboys, but it became less likely as free agency approached. Now, Dallas knows for a fact that they will need a new starting RB in 2024. Dante Fowler, the latest player to join Dan Quinn in Washington. When Dan Quinn left the Cowboys to become the new head coach in Washington, it was expected he might have some interest in some of these unrestricted free agents. And sure enough, that has exactly been the case. The latest to leave Dallas for the Commanders is veteran pass rusher Dante Fowler, who has agreed to terms on a deal. Fowler joins fellow defensive end Durance Armstrong and center Tyler Biadasz as players that are expected to sign with Washington once the NFL free agent signing period begins Wednesday. This will be Fowler's third time to reunite with Quinn, who was named head coach of the Commanders on February 3. Fowler, 29, had no starts for the Cowboys in his 2-year stay but was still able to produce 10 sacks and 30 combined tackles, and his takedowns of opposing quarterbacks were almost always timely in nature. And his ability to force fumbles only raised his value on the open market as one of the better rotational pass rushers in the NFL despite tapping the door of turning 30 years old in 2024. That isn't to say Fowler can't continue to make an impact, because there are no indications at the moment that he's slowing down anytime soon. His 2 seasons in Dallas were both productive and efficient when factoring in snaps awarded, making it a job well done. Fowler, the number 3 overall pick of the Jaguars in 2015, is headed to his 5th pro team. After Jacksonville, he had 2 seasons with the Rams, 2 in Atlanta, where he also played once for Quinn, and then 2 years with the Cowboys. With Fowler, Biadasz and Armstrong all headed to Washington with Quinn, the only free agent going elsewhere is running back Tony Pollard, who agreed to 3-year deal in Tennessee.